Okay, so what we got here is a real piece of junk. Got it for about $7 grand. And the reason why I got it for that cheap is because if you look up underneath here, you'll see these tracks, and they got the rubber cleats on the inside that grab. Things cost more, and they're absolute garbage. So what's happened to me here is it has a small battery in it, and the power unit stays on, so the battery dies about within 7 days of not being charged. What I'm doing is I'm putting in a new battery and a disconnect. The tracks do give a bumpier ride. They do not get nails. You don't have to worry about nails, and they're more stable. You're less likely. It's almost impossible to flip one of these things over with tracks. You can be on a mountainside, go down, up, down mountains. You try doing that with the tires, and you'll be doing somersaults down the hill. I went with the tracks partially because I'm working on the side of a mountain, and the other part is we've got trees with 2-inch thorns here that wipe out tires rather quickly. So tracks is always a better thing until all those trees are gone. Goats like them. Okay, battery compartment I did on the Ford 4000. Mostly I'm trying to get rid of the regular batteries. I've got 2 marine batteries in this with a 4000 watt power inverter, and it works absolutely fantastic. I was going through a 12-volt battery every 6 months with this thing because it just fried batteries. And with this system, and it's frying batteries because the alternator's charging them so hard that it's just burning them up. It has plenty of power to fire the tractor up. When the power inverter starts going low and shuts off, it still has enough power. It has enough amps between 2 batteries to still fire up the tractor. I do have to recharge it. I mean, running it for a day does not charge both these batteries up. So even if I run it for a day, I still have to put it on a charger for a couple of days to get these two built back up. I usually go with the 6 amp. And with these batteries, I was able to last 6 years, and that helped a bunch. I mean, I've saved a lot of money going this way. Okay, this model is a Polaris. It had Caterpillar engine in it, and I was thinking the thing was made by Caterpillar when I bought it. Boy, was I ever wrong. It's a real piece of junk. Starting with this wheel hub right here, you need to have one. If you're getting one with tracks, you need to have one with a gear, with basically a big gear inside of it, going against metal tracks. These are all rubber tracks. Absolutely god-awful. They're about 20% more expensive than the steel inside tracks. They last half as long, and you only get about half the power out of them. Caterpillar uses this type too. If you have an opportunity to buy one of these machines, if you plan on buying it and just taking it at the junkyard for scrap metal, go ahead. Otherwise, I wouldn't touch it. For my purposes, I'm using it as a post hole digger. Works fine. Cleaning out barns and stalls, it works fine. Very little power out of it. The advantage of tracks over wheels is you don't have to worry about the 2-inch thorns that we have around here. Tipping over is almost impossible. With wheels, you tip over really, really fast. Pricing wise, wheels are the way to go. I mean, they're half the price of tracks, and provided you don't get holes in them every day. Extremely cheaper. They also run faster. You can run, they move quicker. As soon as you put tracks on them, you're cutting your speed in half. This machine anyway. If you're looking for skid steer, is brand names. New Holland makes an absolutely wonderful machine. Starting from there, they are as good as Kabuto. It depends on who you have doing maintenance on it. Usually the shop that sells them, the distributor, has their own maintenance crew on them. If they're really, really good, that's a reason to buy that brand more than anything else. If you're buying secondhand, the newer the machine, the easier it is going to be to work on it. If you buy a really old machine, they put things in places that are near impossible to get to, and maintenance on them is really, really hard. John Deere, most farmers now are saying if you buy a John Deere, they're going to put you out of farming. The shop that I get my John Deere parts from, they were cussing up a storm last time I was there because their giant excavators that they were having, they had bad parts on them. Basically, they wouldn't do the job, they wouldn't hold up, and John Deere sent them the same junk parts to replace the old parts with. They never upgraded them. So there are a lot of people going against John Deere. Okay, got my old Sharpie here. One Sharpie pen, good square. These came out of Harbor Freight. On this one I'm using the cutoff blades, and also be using a sander on this job. I'm just going to score it here to bend it. I'm just going to score it some more to bend it. And not today, huh? It's about a 90. When I use an angle grinder, what happens is every once in a while it's going to kick up. So I'm going to put my foot on it, make this real sturdy, and I'm going to hold it this way so that if it kicks up, it just keeps on going. They do it a lot, so here goes. Actually, I should do it this way so it's more inside. Got another one here with a sander on it. You notice my safety gear that I'm using is glasses, long pants, long sleeves. It's over 90 degrees here, 100% humidity, and I'm just going in and out of the air conditioned room. I let this stuff cool in the shade, so now it's just a matter of sanding down all the sharp edges so I can weld it up. Okay, so first of all I'm going to clean it up with a wire brush. Run the wire over top so I don't get it mixed in. And I can usually get about 3 welding sticks per cycle, and then I'll wait 15 minutes to do another 3 sticks. And I have forgotten that I'm not a good enough welder to get by with that. I'm using the 70/18s. This is the 1/8 inch stick, and I'm doing a little bit bigger than a 1/8. I'm also using it at 140 amps with the negative on the stick. That'd be DC current with negative on the stick. So, not being a good enough welder to do things nice and smooth, time to bring out the big guns. Change shirts for painting. One of the things I've not brought up for skid steers. Right. Well, what I was going to say before this brake can busted open from me hitting on the side like I did, trying to open it, and went wild and dumped all the spray out of it. The reason why I've not brought up Bobcat. They do make a superior equipment. Mini excavators, they're shorter, they're stouter, they have more power. In a farm you want more reach than power, so that their stuff works better on road crews. For skid steers, it's just a matter of time before the farm tractor comes out, so that all the front wheels will handle an entire yard of dirt. And when that happens, it's just another innovation that as soon as it happens, I see Bobcat going out of business, and then it's going to be hard to find parts. This thing here, there's a lot of parts that I can't get for it, and it's just off-brand. If you have an off-brand thing and you can get parts for it, you can get people to help you with it. So long as that company selling the stuff is in business, then it's a wonderful thing to have. You need the support of the machine to help you out with it, of the maker of the machine. As far as Bobcat goes, as soon as they start putting hydraulics on the regular tractors, like the hydraulics are on this thing has a 35 horsepower engine, and the hydraulics is enough to handle just about everything I need to do. It will not handle a bush hog. It won't handle some of the other stuff that goes on a front end loader, on a skid steer front end loader. But it's like I say, as soon as they make the front end loaders on tractors like they do on the skid steers, I see the skid steers disappearing. I always run a wire brush on them. I took the bolt and put it on a wire brush wheel. And then I've been experimenting for the last 6 months with the dielectric grease. Okay, the other modification to it, now that I've got all this done, put in a new wire here because the old one wasn't all that great. And the cover will just fit on. The other modification I did to it is I took an air filter, put it through here, so if any water gets in here, I'll know it rather than it shutting down the engine. And it's a matter of just seeing if it fires up or seeing if I can climb in this thing.